When Memorial Day weekend hits at the end of May, many of us consider that to be the unofficial start to summer. That's when the barbecue grills come out, that's when a lot of people open up their pools, and as gardeners, that's when the average frost date for most people is done and we can just celebrate moving on with our gardening projects. Since it is unofficially summer, I did want to take you on a tour of my poolside gardens to see where I am right now at the start of the kind of summer season, and then we can see where I end up by the time this season is over, because you know how it is. You have all sorts of projects in mind, all sorts of ideas and things you want to accomplish, and you just get anxious to get everything done. But let's see what I have so far. So at this stage of the game, my garden isn't as full and layered as I hope it will be by the end of all the projects that I want to do. But hey, I'm starting somewhere and I want to show you all the things I have at this stage, and maybe we can even generate some ideas together as to some other things that would work great for me here. I am in growing zone 8A in coastal North Carolina. So we do get freezing temperatures in the winter, but my ground doesn't freeze. So keeping that in mind, I do have some tropical plants like regular hibiscus that I can keep here that will come back for me as perennials. Canna Lilies are another one, a tropical style plant that does come back for me as perennials. So I have those things going for me. Let me show you what else. Right here I have a sago palm that I have kept in the pot, and he just lives right here like this. I kept him in my greenhouse for the winter, and that's how he survived. And right now he's starting his brand new growth up on the top, and as the brand new growth that's like brightly, vibrantly green comes up, I will be able to take off these lower fronds that have begun to expire. Down here I have a sweet little succulent planter, so that's just a little bit of fun. I have my canna lily behind me. This canna lily is going to end up getting quite tall for the summer. So since we're in the unofficial start of summer right now, we're not seeing his full beauty just yet, but that baby's gonna get quite tall, and again with those red, vibrant flowers. This sweetie right here is, hold on, I have the tag on it. It's a cheat because it is a perennial hibiscus, but I just want to tell you its proper name. He's the copper king hibiscus. So this one, and I have another one back there, also get super, super tall. Those flowers are going to be a very pale, almost white, but very pale pink. And they're stunning because the flowers are huge. So these two things together look really awesome. Down below here, I have purple hearts. They're like a succulent style plant. They are plentiful for me. I have them in pots, I have them in the ground, I have them inside, outside, everything. So those are purple hearts. They are perennial for me here. I have blanket flowers in many places in my gardens. Right here in particular, I didn't plant him because obviously you can see he came in the cracks of my paving stones. Nevertheless, blanket flowers. So this spot right here, I have my pink Mandevilla. So that is also a tropical style flower. That one I have in a pot. It will not come back for me as a perennial. So I may try to keep this pot alive, and I have some creeping Jenny coming down the side of this. Blanket flower again in the back. And then I have the succulent garden that I recently put together. That again will continue to grow and expand as I get new, really cool and interesting things. Behind the succulent garden is my banana trees. I have a bunch of banana trees. They're just hardy bananas and they propagate quite easily. So right beside my banana trees and my succulent garden, I have the bougainvillea. And this is just a sweet, sweet looking flower. I am gonna try to propagate this because I love how light and feathery the flower petals are. So that's something I'm interested in doing. And then I have the stone crop sedum, which is a beautiful lime green against the magenta flower. So that combination is pretty cool. Right here, I have a hibiscus. It is a non-hardy variety, but it does come back for me here with a very nice layer of soil and mulch over the root system. So this baby will really start putting on its show later in the summer when it has time to grow all those flowers. In the front, I have 2 oyster plants. They're just really cool variegated leaf plants that just have a nice purple rim on the outside of the leaves. So I love that just simply for the color of the foliage. This right here is an oleander tree. So that one's got the delicate pink flowers up at the top too. And I was looking for something with a little more height toward my back layer here, or what is my back layer now, but I do intend to take this flower bed to the fence. We'll see how that all goes. I need some more height ideas for my back row there. Of course, come on, you gotta have the nice statuary. Here I have a sago palm that lives in the ground all winter. So he is perking back up too. We have all this new growth on the top, and then he'll start to leaf out normally, as you know, in the shape of a sago palm that you'd be familiar with. This here's more purple heart, so it's sitting in a pot right now. That is just kind of taking up this placeholder for now until the sago palm leafs out into its regular larger size. This is a hardy perennial hibiscus. This one's going to have large magenta flowers on it, so all summer long things are going to be blooming and looking awesome right here. I recently started noticing Japanese beetles coming and eating my leaves, so that will be treated. Hopefully right here, maybe you can see this sweet little bud starting where you can actually see the magenta color. Here in my section as we approach the waterfall, I have more Mandevilla, yellow this time, mixed with sedum in a concrete planter here on top of the concrete bench. And these Fiesta hibiscus are my absolute favorite, most stunning hibiscus flowers. So I have those, they live in the pot. This is my 3rd year with them. I'm able to bring that whole pot right into my greenhouse for the winter, and the creeping Jenny stays right with it paired like that. Up inside my waterfall, let me show you what I have happening there. Right inside my waterfall, which we built with a hollow center so that we could have plants in here, I have 2 hibiscus plants, and in the center I have a Pygmy Date Palm. The Pygmy Date Palm is brand new for this year, costs about $20 at Lowe's. That's the kind of palm that I'm willing to make a financial investment on, whereas the ones that cost hundreds, that's a little more scary for me because I really don't want to lose any palms over the winter. The Pygmy Date Palm can come with me into my greenhouse though, because at least I can lift him up out of the waterfall. My hibiscus, same deal. I take these plants out of the waterfall, bring them into the greenhouse for the winter, and now they are back again. And they flower on and off all throughout the year inside the greenhouse or out here. Moving on to this side of the waterfall, I start with canna lilies. I have orange, I have coral, I have red, I have yellow. So the canna lilies differ in the flower color and the foliage color, as well as the size of the entire plant. So these in the back are the biggest canna lilies that I'm going to have, and that flower is going to shoot up orange. I have a golden variegated yucca right here. This sweetie pie gets big, propagates its own little babies that you can divide and put into other places. But I have it here. It's not necessarily a tropical feel, but the texture of the leaves and the evergreen color is why I put that there. Elephant ears are just going to get bigger as the summer goes on and they get lots of rain into their pot. And then I have another Pygmy Date Palm like I do in the center of my waterfall. This one has lived with me for about 4 years. Again, goes inside in the winter and then can come back out in its pot. With the Pygmy Date Palm, I do have some verbena in there to add a little bit of extra color. So blanket flowers, canna lilies, I have another hibiscus tucked in a pot over here that you could just barely see. That's another Fiesta, so it's got the yellow flower with the red and pink inside. I have way more elephant ears growing here. And this baby, There was a little discussion going on about what this was because it was popping up basically as a weed in my yard, which I dug up and planted over here. It stayed in evergreen. We kind of thought maybe it was going to be a Rose of Sharon. It is not. This baby technically is a weed, but it's staying. I love the height, and evergreen, yeah, love that too. Then this final side of my pool, which is the deep end of my pool, I have more banana trees and I have some other plants just to take up the height on this side. We didn't go too crazy with plants right here because we started another line of things more toward the back along the fence line. But my husband has given me permission to go ahead and add more things around the pool. So the idea is to cut down on the amount of lawn that we have, less mowing, and then more different height and textures of different plants and trees that I can put around. So I so very much look forward to showing you new things in the future and how this poolside garden expands. Thank you so much for watching my garden tour, and happy planting.